The Adventures of Michael McKoy Jr. and Carl. Thumbs to Rule the World. A McKoy Vision production. Michael McKoy Jr. had barely finished his morning cereal when he heard a loud bang from Carl's room. This wasn't unusual. Carl's projects often involved loud noises and sporadic power outages, but something about this bang was different. He opened Carl's door cautiously, only to find his friend with a foot in one hand, duct tape in the other, and a wild glint in his eyes. "Carl, what are you doing?" Michael asked, already suspecting the answer would make no sense. "I'm finally solving it, Michael. I'm going to get thumbs on my feet," Carl declared, his eyes wide and manic. "I've always said it, thumbs are the secret to the universe. Imagine the power of holding things with feet hands. I'll be unstoppable." Michael pinched the bridge of his nose. "But Carl, people usually don't need thumbs on their feet. That's why you know their feet." "That's quitter talk, Michael." Carl snapped back, pacing around his room, or rather wobbling, since he had already duct-taped one gloved hand to his right foot. His grand plan was something like this. Step 1, buy a bunch of mannequin hands. Check. Step 2, glue or tape them to his feet. Step 3, maybe wear gloves over them to make them look real. And, naturally, Step 4, world domination with hands-feet. It got stranger from there. Next, Carl attempted to attach wires and springs to the fake hands, convinced he could somehow activate the thumb muscles by connecting the mannequin hands to his own tendons. He was a terrible engineer, but an inventive one, so he commandeered a bungee cord from the garage, a whisk from the kitchen, and an old battery-powered fan to power his new thumbs. "Michael, you're witnessing history. Imagine it, people everywhere will follow my lead. Feet will be obsolete. We'll all be hand walkers," Carl said while adjusting one hand foot that was held together with glue, duct tape, and, puzzlingly, half a popsicle stick. "Carl, you're literally falling apart," Michael pointed out, watching one plastic hand pop off his foot and skitter across the floor. But Carl wasn't done. He decided to make a thumb workout machine to strengthen his new hand feet, convinced that if he trained long enough, they would function like real hands. He assembled a bizarre array of objects: 2 egg cartons, an old sock, 3 rubber bands, and a spatula. Somehow, these were meant to help his hand-feet improve their grip. When that inevitably failed, Carl grew desperate. He strapped his newly attached hand-feet into a pair of roller skates, thinking he could just roll his weight into thumb success. This plan led to immediate disaster as he launched down the hall and crashed into the kitchen, scattering cutlery everywhere. His mannequin hand-feet were twisted at impossible angles, and his duct tape had begun to peel, creating what looked like a melted hand-foot monster. "Enough!" Michael shouted, helping Carl to his wobbly, thumbless feet. "This is insane. Just let thumbs go." For a moment, Carl was silent, 1,000 shattered thumb dreams in his eyes. Then, slowly, he peeled off the remaining mannequin hands and sighed. "You know, Michael, maybe you're right. Perhaps the world just isn't ready for hand-feet." Michael watched, relieved, as Carl dropped the last of the mannequin hands into the trash. Carl sighed deeply, glancing at his own perfectly normal hands. "But I'll always wonder, what could have been?"